So welcome to Formula 7 Realistic. We are live here in Monaco for a night race. Casper is already on a provisional pole. We'd have a few issues here this evening. Sorry, 1 second, I need to change the layout to the 2026 version. 1 second, guys. It was on the 2025 version for F2. Edward cannot race for Red Bull, Nathan, if he joins. What do you mean? Why? What's going on? Right, there we go. Right, 2026 version is up. So Leo London P2. Yes, salute, I know they are, mate. That will be dealt with afterwards. To be fair, so's XD Storms. But I think anyway. But also Edward, there was no point in not letting Edward race because we already had an F2 driver on the grid as well. Right, why can't he race in the Red Bull? What's happened? So CJ's in the pit lane. It's easy, simple in the Aston Martin. And Goldman's. I don't know what you want me to do. It would mean restarting the race. I don't know why he's chosen to go in the Red Bull, to be honest. But why did Red Bull not have a reserve? So Goldman's back on track. He's not been on track for a very long time, as Goldman's. I just need to check if I've still got Royk and Goldman's on here. Yeah, Royk is there and Goldman's is there. So Kylan up to P16, and then you've got Casper is back on an outlap. So yellow flag is waving. A night race around Monaco should be exciting. Yeah, salute. That's fine. So Casper in the McLaren is now on a lap. We will ride on board with the McLaren driver. The championship is so close in realistic. So interesting stuff. I hope everybody got to watch the eclipse. To be honest, I didn't even see anything. Oh, and he's hit the wall. And that is it for Casper. CJ in the Ferrari. Then you've got Fanfnis in the Ferrari as well. So let me just grab my keyboard. I wonder if I can use Race Lab on F1 as well. So Fanfnis in the Ferrari is slightly down through sector 1. And then slightly down through sector 2 for the Ferrari driver. Solar in the Williams. Then you've got F1 Lexi. It's easy, simple. In the Aston Martin, Edward on an outlap. Leo Lund in the Racing Bull, coming through the slowest part of the corner. So we will keep the telemetry up. So they are the fastest sectors at the moment. So riding on board with Leo Lund just seeing what he can do, we know that he's an incredible driver. I don't think he's on a lap. He isn't on a lap now. Deadly in the Mercedes, keeping it valid. And he is slightly down through sector 1. Seems a little bit laggy tonight here, Deadly. Maybe just a little glitch. Through sector 2 and down in towards the Raskas. And he's clipped the back wheel and he's into the pit lane. So what about B right? Deadly warning for speeding into the pit lane. B right around turn 6 and then 7 in towards turn 8, and then he'll go through the tunnel section. Yeah, it's absolutely scorching, to be honest. It's horrible. So let me know how the audio is, guys. Let me know how the audio is, because I don't know, I can't listen. So be right in the McLaren with not long left. Yeah, and he's not on a lap at the moment. Leo Lund is going again, and he's putting everything in this lap. He's around 2 tenths behind Casper. He needs a solid sector 2 and 3 time here now. And he is 2 tenths up. This is massive from Leo Lund. That was huge. And Leo Lund in the Racing Bull coming around turn 19, rides the apex, and then it's down to the checkered flag. And Leo Lund will take provisional pole here in Monaco. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. There's your fastest sectors. That sector 2 was a mighty sector from Leo Lund. So be right in the McLaren. He will try to improve. It is so difficult to overtake. We've seen some spectacular overtakes already this evening. Can we see any more? The Red Bull's getting out of the way. B right invalidates it. B right has invalidated it. Then you've got Kylan in the Aston Martin going in front of Jeffy. Then you've got Jabba in the Cadillac. Is Jabba a F2 driver? So Solar is out. Solar has crashed it. Solar has crashed it, and that is not what you want to do in Monaco. It is going to be so difficult for his race now. So difficult. Remember, Monaco is a mandatory 2-stop track. Yeah, Jabba's way down. CJ in the Ferrari. And then you got DK going. Oh, and he's invalidated it. I mean, I wouldn't go sacking anyone at the moment. We can't even fill the grid in realistic. I mean, Monaco is always tough to get drivers in, but 4 minutes to go in qualifying. If anybody knows how you compare the time, so you know this here, that on my timing screen it shows 3 boxes, so I can compare 3 times at once, but I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to find out, but I don't know how you do it. So what is it, timing? Driver lap timing. But yeah, I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Is there like a way that you can just go to the next person? Yeah, I don't know. Configuration. Sorry guys, 2 seconds. Sorry, right, I'll leave it for now. But yeah, I should be able to compare them, but I don't know how to do it. So I should be able to bring Jabbers up and then keep that up whilst I bring Jeffy's up and compare like 3 of them side by side, but I still can't figure out how to do it. So 2 minutes of qualifying to go. Leo Lund is still on provisional pole. Casper in P2. He's got a racing bull in front of him. This is not good for Casper. I don't know if he's on a lap anyway. No, he's not. He's not on a lap. Fanfinus in the Ferrari. There's a lot of traffic. No, it's not your fault, Trubo. In fact, it's not your fault at all. Just don't know what's going on at the moment with realistic. Like, where's all the F2 drivers, the team principals, the F1 grid, the F1 reserves, you know, the social media posts. I don't know, I don't know, what can we do, guys? What can we do to boost the... I mean, it's always had a lot of interest as realistic. But how do we get it so team principals and drivers want to be a part of it? Leo Lunder's gone even quicker. That is remarkable. Casper will start his lap. So Deadly is 4 1,000ths in front of cars. Jabba will start in P17 in Monaco. That is not a great place to start. I mean, Alpine haven't had a driver on the grid for months in realistic. Months. So up the hill goes Deadly. And this is right on the limit for the Mercedes. As we come to the end of qualifying, he's 2 tenths up on provisional pole. That is a mighty Sector 1 time for Deadly. He is lighting up the circuit here in Monte Carlo. Into turn 8 and then through the tunnel section we go. The checkered flag has waved. There will be no more opportunities. Cars is into the pit lane. And then it is Deadly, his teammate of Royker Pens. Out of turn 19, he is slightly up on his lap time. And Royk to the line we go, and he will stay at P9, the McLaren of B. Wright and Casper. Casper takes pole by 1/1000th of a second. Leo Lund is into the pit lane. Edward a collision with F1 Lexi. Goldman's with a collision. It looks like there's absolute carnage in the middle of this track. Everybody that was on a lap will have to abort. I think the Red Bull has damage. Yes, Edward missing a front wing. Casper 109.512. Leo Lund 109.513. CJ in the Ferrari, B. Wright in the McLaren. Did he get hindered? It looks like he did. DK Cohen. That is it. Carnage on the track as Kylan goes into the wall. So this night race around Monaco. So let me just get the stats for the race. Bear with me, guys. One second. So it is Casper, Leo Lund, CJ, Deadly, Cars, B. Wright, who's in P7, Fanfinus. And then we are DK going Jeffrey Boy, Hackmore in the house. That wasn't right, was it? Oh, it's XD. And then it was the Williams, the Audi. It's got none of the names here, you know. Yeah, they're all wrong. So here we go. For F1 Realistic. This start is going to be so important. Here we go. Here in Monaco for round 5 here at Formula 7 Realistic. And it is lights out and away we go. The Mercedes was really slow off the line. That was deadly. And this is cars that will go up the inside. The Haas driver will move up. They've collided. Oh my God, it's a huge crash. Huge crash. It's absolute mayhem at the back of this grid. Could potentially be a red flag. It's not. The drivers move on through. It was inevitable. Down the inside goes F1 Lexi into the side of the Mercedes. Deadly is through on Fanfness. I don't know how the Mercedes survived that. Yellow flags are waving. There's no DNFs, incredibly. And everybody carries on as if nothing ever happened. The Haas of cars is into the wall, and he does have wing damage to the front of that car. Wow. So that is F1 Lexi that goes through on Jabber, his teammate. Is that teamwork? So Jabber will now try and hold up the Mercedes of Royker Pens, and that's the Aston Martin that goes cutting over the apex and picking up a time penalty. Solar coming up the inside. The Aston Martin's collided with him, and Easy Simple does not have a front wing. And now he's got 2 Red Bulls behind him. And that is Jeffy Boy that is trying to find a way through. And Easy Simple goes lunging up the inside. And Easy Simple has absolutely wiped out a Red Bull there. And that is a few drivers into the pit lane. DK going, Fanfness, Easy Simple, and be right. The championship contender has no front wing. Cars in the Haas. How has this not been red flagged at the start of this race? I do not know. Monaco never seems to disappoint, but this is unbelievable. That is a Cadillac that does not have damage, and Solar the Eater will go up the inside looking for a way through. He's trying to find the gap, and he does. He'll go later on the brakes in towards the hairpin. The Cadillac going later, but it is the Williams with an astonishing overtake. Solar is through. And look at this from the Red Bull, trying to get the better exit on the Cadillac. He'll have the straight line speed, and he'll go down the inside, and surely he will go late on the brakes. The Cadillac Edward backs out. He will try and switch it back around the outside, and this is very nicely done from Edward on Jabber, and he'll have to just slam on that brake pedal, and through goes the Red Bull driver. He's up into the top 10 here in Monaco. So B-Right's got a lot to do. He's on the back of a Ferrari. I think that Ferrari has damage. We can't see, actually. We can't see if he's got damage. Yeah, he has got damage. Oh, no, it's a glitch. That's a glitch. So, not good at all. Fanf did pit. You are right. Jesus, it ain't half going off tonight in this realistic. It's really hard to overtake 18 drivers still in this race. And that is Goldman's on Jabber through the tunnel. It's a sprint race down towards turn 10. Lock up from Jabber. And Goldman's looking really quick in that Audi, but now he's got Jeffy Boy on his tail in that Red Bull. And Goldman's, although he's trying to attack, he's going to have to do a lot of defending. Goldman's looks very quick in that Audi, you know. He does look very good. Oh, and he's lost the back end. This might open up the door for Jeffy. And that is Solar on F1 Lexi. Up the inside goes the Williams. And Solar has made a couple of overtakes now. You don't see overtakes very often around here. But that is not stopping the Williams driver from making moves. Sorry, let me just input the data from qualifying. I've still not done it. So 10 was Gravangan, sorry, in the Haas. And then you had 11 in the Williams. That's Solar. and the Audi in P12 of Lexi. Wait, this is completely wrong. Oh, it was... the people had grid penalties, didn't they? For God's sake. Sorry, 2 seconds, guys. Right, we are good to go. Goldman's still on Jabber. Yeah, I do apologise about that, guys. It took a lot to sort that out because it wasn't coming up properly. And look at this. And look at the leaders as well. Stefan did pit, you're right. And that is Jabber that has been overtaken by Goldman. Jabber is round at turn 1. So there must have been a collision there. And now the Red Bull on the back of F1 Lexi in the Cadillac. And the front two, only 0.3 of a second separate Casper and Leo Lund. B-Wright is down in P15. This is not good for his championship hopes. If we look at the championship, Deadly leads to Casper in P2 and B-Wright in P3. And then they're separated by 2... Oh no, sorry, I'm looking. I've got the old point system, my apologies. I've got the normal point system. I will sort that out. Oh, and that is Jabber. And he's been overtaken by B-Wright. He is not having a good race here, Jabber. Yes, Monaco is always eventful, it really is. So Leo Lund in the Racing Bull is tracking Casper through every single corner. He's all over him, he really is piling on the pressure, and I tell you why Monaco is not catching the data, because it's got the wrong date. So we're a week behind, so that's why it wasn't catching it. At least I found the problem. So that's why it weren't catching it, because it had it as last week's race. So it was saying there was no session for it to put it on. At least I found the problem. So Leo Lund on the back of Casper. They separated by 0.4 with CJ in the background. That is Jabber being overtaken by DK Cohen in the Williams. And just look at the gap. So you've got Solar in P5 in the Williams, who I mean, if you're the Williams team principal, you are rubbing your hands together with the fact that you've got somebody like Solar on the track, and then you've got Roix through on Kylan, who must have made a mistake. And Roix in the Mercedes up to P7, and Deadly's into the pit lane. So he's going for his first of 2 stops. The pit lane madness begins. Jabba corner cutting, 3-second time penalty. Where does Deadly come out? He does not want to come out in traffic. And that is his teammate. And there is the Red Bull and the Cadillac. And now Jeffy Boy. But Deadly comes out in front of Jeffy Boy. But he has come out behind F1 Lexi, which could cause him major problems. Deadly had wing damage. Oh, and it's Easy Symbol that's out. Easy Symbol has crashed it. He's crashed it in a really awkward place as well. Drive-through time penalty for Jabba. This is turning into a disaster. And a lot of the drivers are into the pit lane now under the yellow flag. It is a bit of chaos going on. It really is a bit of chaos. Is that a safety car? Or is it not? I don't know. No, it's not a safety car. It must be a virtual safety car. Which is why the drivers are taking the opportunity to pit. Fanfulness has stayed out. Oh, wow. Normal race speed resumed. We go back racing once more. And Jeffy just got through on Jabba. Made light work of that. E-Ride does not want to get held up behind this Ferrari for too long. Casper drive-through. Casper drive-through. The race leader has got a drive-through time penalty. My goodness me. The race leader with a drive-through time penalty. That is Edward through on Kylan in the Aston Martin. Interesting stuff there, as he did not put up a fight. It looked like Kylan was very giving there. So on lap 11, and now Deadly is going to try and make a move on Kylan. No, not this time. The Aston Martin driver trying to hold on, but he's unable to keep that move, and Deadly is through. And the chase is on to the Red Bull in front. Be right with a 3-second time penalty. No, with just a warning, sorry. And look how close he is to Fanfulness in that Ferrari. So that is the penalties at the minute. And that is Deadly on Edward. Out of the tunnel section, and the Mercedes gets the move done. Kylan picking up a track limit. Now Be Right still unable to get the overtake. And Deadly on Gravangan. And he's looking for a way through on the Haas. He'll have to go the long way round. And he sticks it so well there, does the Mercedes. Brilliant overtake here in Monaco. That is how it's done. So Leo Lund is in P2, but it's Casper with the drive-through time penalty that will have to serve that in the next lap. And Edward now on Gravangan as well. The Red Bull on the back of the Haas. The Haas of Gravangan holding on to this position against the Red Bull through the slowest part of the corner, and the Haas driver slipping and sliding. The Red Bull of Edward will get the better exit as we go through the tunnel section, but the Haas was able to get his foot down a lot earlier than the Red Bull, and he does lock up, and out of the way he goes, and through goes the Red Bull again, same as the last lap. And that is Casper into the pit lane, and Leo Lund is now your race leader. And that is a yellow flag. That is Cars that's out. Cars is out. A yellow flag. It's not a safety car, but Cars is out, and all the drivers will head into the pit lane. So a race to forget. Solar in the Williams stays out. So we are on lap 14 of 39. And Solar is back into P5. We're going to have to keep our eyes peeled on the tyres, so we will keep that up as well. Or maybe even like that. And that is Jeffy Boy on Kylan. So B-Right is now up to P7, but he's still not been able to get past Fanfinas. As you can see, they both pitted on lap 1. And Royker's caught up to them. Royker's on a lot fresher tyres than these two. And Kylan is into the pit lane. So the McLaren, that is Jabba that is through on Kylan, DK Cohen and Goldman's still cracking on. Leo Lund is 6 seconds clear, DK Cohen setting the fastest lap of the race. And this is going to become very frustrating for Roy because he's on fresher tyres, but, well, he's on a lot fresher tyres, but it's going to be extremely difficult for the Mercedes driver to get through a McLaren and a Ferrari, even on old tyres. It's going to be extremely hard to make this work. So we'll have to see what happens. Edward with a black and white flag now. One more. There we go, and that is the one more. 3-second time penalty. B-Right picks up another warning as well, and that's a 3-second time penalty for him. So they're all starting to mount up. That is a yellow flag, and that is a Williams of DK Cohen that is into the wall. He's got no front wing. So DK Cohen here in Monaco. So black and white flag for another driver. Fanfins with a 3-second time penalty. And the number 7 of B right. And the Ferrari hits the wall, and now the McLaren might come through. The Ferrari made one mistake, and that means that B right will finally get through the McLaren driver. And that was all it took. The Ferrari getting all squirrely, and now here comes Roy Capens in the Mercedes wheel to wheel with the Scuderia. And the Mercedes of Royk, the two Dutchmen trade places. And Royk is in front. DK Cohen picking up a track limit violation. And he's just intentionally crashed out in the race. I know he tried to do it multiple times on the last lap and then leaves the session. And that will be DK Cohen's very final race here. So sorry about that, guys. If you just had to watch that on stream, I do apologise. That's not what our drivers usually do. Unfortunately, some people they have that lack of respect for me, because if they did, they wouldn't do that on stream. Jabba being overtaken by Goldman's. Casper is all over the back of CJ after serving that drive-through time penalty. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. It's just like, I don't know, some people are different. I would never do that. The fact that he took off his front wing, tried crashing into multiple walls, then drove past the pit lane, and then drove straight into the wall coming out of the tunnel. Like, come on. You think I'm a fucking idiot? You're trying to treat me like an idiot by pretending like you're not trying to do that. Like, I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, don't treat us all like fools, like we don't know what we're talking about. Anyway, it is what it is, guys. If people want to do that, then they want to do that. That's on them. It is what it is. I understand Monaco is not a great track, but it doesn't mean you have to deliberately try and crash out multiple times. Oh, come on. You know what I mean? I put in a lot of effort for you guys. The least you can do is try and respect the race and the league on track. So here we go. Down the inside, Casper with the overtake. Wow, that is very good. He managed to get the McLaren to a stop as well. So Solar is into the pit lane. Jeffy with a 3-second time penalty. So Deadly's on the back of CJ, Mercedes versus Ferrari. So fed up, man. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so fed up. Sorry, I've got a lot going on. It is what it is. So Deadly in the Mercedes on the back of CJ in the Ferrari. Roik on the back of B right. Remember, Roik does have that time penalty. Leo Lund nearly 13 seconds clear with 14 laps to go. So Edward has caught up, so has Solar. Is Solar going to be able to get the move on the Red Bull? Has he got the better tyres? That is the question. Down the inside he goes, they collide. The Williams and the Red Bull have collided. And that might open up the door for Jeffy. It does. And that was inevitable. And that is Edward with a 3-second time penalty now as well. And Deadly only 4 attempts behind CJ for the podium places. So Roik and B Right are into the pit lane, and I think B Right might come out in front of Roik here. This would be huge. And he does. They've swapped places. Leo Lund picks up a 3-second time penalty. I don't think it'll matter. But B Right has come out in front of Roik. So all of that time and effort to try and get the overtake. And he's done it in the pit lane. I think he was already in front of Roik actually. It's Fanfurness who went for the undercut. He's now 3 seconds clear. So that is a huge undercut for Fanfurness. So now Deadly still on the back of the other Ferrari of CJ3000. Who's having a pretty decent race here. So Casper into the pit lane. Deadly is into the pits. He's going for the undercut. He needs to get past CJ, and this is his way through. Casper into the pits. Solar 22 seconds behind. This is really interesting to see if Solar will come out in front of Deadly. He won't. So Deadly is in so much clean air now. That undercut is on. Goldman's got through on Jabber into turn 1. So Deadly now knows what his goals are. So Casper pitted, Deadly pitted. CJ surely has to respond to this. He's surely got to respond. And into the pit lane goes Leo Lund. That means CJ will potentially be your race leader for a couple of laps unless he goes into the pit lane as well. So CJ does stay out. He's 1.6 clear of the Racing Bull. The Ferrari is now your race leader. but this means that the undercut is going to be a lot stronger, and that is an Aston Martin that is going to separate them. So look at this, Leo Lund all over the back of Ferrari. And up the inside goes Leo Lund, the Ferrari, trying to hold on. He is not going to let him through easily. But that is Leo Lund back into the lead of the Grand Prix. So Casper 8 seconds in the distance. Edward now up to P6. So what about the undercut? Did it work? We don't know because CJ has stayed out for another lap. And they've got a group of drivers all bunched up near the back here. F1 Lexi, Gravangan and Roix. Yellow flag waving. Look at Gravangan, he's stuck behind F1 Lexi. So be right on the back of Fanfurnace again. So it's back where we started, pit stops. So CJ still has to pit, so does Edward. Down the inside goes B right. And B right in the McLaren is through on the Ferrari. That is a really good overtake, and that's exactly what he needed to do. Now Casper on CJ, who is yet to pit with 7 laps remaining. Remember, Deadly went for the undercut. CJ is trying to go to the end. I'm not sure he knows he can't do that. So he got a good exit there, did Casper. He's got the tyres. Hopefully they don't have a coming together. Here comes the McLaren versus Ferrari, and Casper is through. Nothing CJ could do about that one. Now be right on Edward. This is where he needs to be clever with this overtake. Into turn 18 and 19 we go. Down the pitch straight. So through the tunnel, he'll move to the right hand side, and the McLaren is going to make the overtake on the Red Bull. Overtake complete, B rise up to P6. Royks picks up a 3-second time penalty. That is Jeffy through on Lexi, and the Cadillac driver is down to P11 and outside of the points. So what about Royks on the Red Bull? He got a better exit, and Royk will have to go around the outside of Edward. Red Bull versus Mercedes. Royks sliding through turn 1. That was beautiful. Now Fanfinus in the Ferrari will chase him down up the hill. But that was a fantastic overtake. So Gravangan in the Haas. 4.5 laps to go. Yellow flag waving. That is Jabba in the Cadillac that is round again. He might get DSQ'd here. No, he just manages to get it back on track. So Deadly in the Mercedes, still on for a podium. Remember, CJ is going to be on the mould tyres. Let's have a look. So they're not actually that different, to be honest with you. Look at that. So, oh, they are very different, actually. So that is what the tyres are like at the moment. So the Mercedes of Deadly, his tyres are so much fresher. Surely he'll get the better exit. He can get his foot down early, and you can see the Ferrari struggling. He'll go around the outside. The Mercedes of Deadly, this is for a podium place. The Ferrari is not going to give it up. Side by side they go. The Mercedes has just got his nose ahead, and CJ is down to P4. That is what he needed to do, and he got it done. So lap 36 of 39, Gravangan on F1 Lexi, and the tyres are pretty similar. And look at that was a slight mistake from F1 Lexi. Oh, it's just that bump, isn't it? When you're on the track, you go over that bump and your steering wheel just comes out of your hands. And you've got to be so careful. Yeah, maybe. There has been quite a few overtakes, hasn't there? Which I wasn't expecting. No! Gravangan, did he get damaged? That is the question. He did. He's got front wing damage. According to the telemetry, he does have front wing damage. So Leo Lund, remember he's got that 3-second time penalty, but he's 10 seconds clear. So Leo Lund is catching up to the back markers. Yeah, I think the battery is definitely helping with overtakes, that's for sure. It's always been quite difficult to get any overtakes around here. Fanfurness has left. I'll tell you what, the Williams is on for a great finish. And he might even catch up to the Ferrari. What are the tyres saying? Well, I don't think that CJ's done his second stop, to be honest with you. And that is Jeffy being let through by Edward. So teamwork in the Red Bull garage, as Edward has led his teammate through, who's on fresher tyres, to try and catch up to Fanfurness. Remember, Fanfurness did disconnect. Oh, Jesus. We are on the final lap of this race. Leo Lund has been incredible. And Solar is now on the back of CJ. We said that he was going to struggle with them tyres. Roy picks up a time penalty. Can Solar get the better exit on them tyres? It looks like he might be able to. And that is Jeffy that is from Fanfurness. They've tangled. Fanfurness. I think that's his AI car. That must have been a lunge from Jeffy. There, Fanfurness is back in the car now. Solar still trying to get through. Leo Lund coming through the tunnel, going through the back markers. Solar on CJ 3000 in the Ferrari. Goldman's is into the pit lane on the last lap. Leo Lund coming round the final couple of corners. And Solar still on the back of CJ. He is trying his best to get through and nick that P4. Will he be able to do it coming out of the tunnel section? Leo Lund coming down the final straight. And Leo Lund is going to win here in Monaco. Leo Lund wins. Solar and CJ still going at it. Solar switches back, gets a 3-second time penalty. Will that be removed? CJ holding on. Solar gets his first time penalty, which means CJ will keep the position. But I've got a feeling that that will be removed. And potentially stewards will be involved. So Solar is still racing for the position. Down to the line, he's going to get the better exit. He'll get his foot down, but the Ferrari is going to hold on for P4. Provisional P4 for now. B-Right is going to take P5. Morska in the Aston Martin, but B-Right coming through to take P6. Royk is going to take P7 in the Mercedes. There we go. What an eventful race. 15 drivers still finish. So F1 Lectit will take P10, Goldman's in P14. Well, that was eventful. At least we got through it. There you have it. On the top step is Leo Lund, who will probably retake the championship lead. That's what he needed after last week. DK Cohen, 3-second time penalty. that is automatically been added because of I don't know why actually. So let's go through. Leo Lund wins to Casper. Sweden 1-2. Then Deadly, CJ, Solar, B Right, Jeffy, and then who was behind Jeffy? It says Roik was behind the Red Bull of. Oh, that was. Oh, no, that's Roik and that's Jeffy. And then Edward, the Hassin 11 of Gravangan. And then Fanfinus, 14 is Goldman's. DJ Cohen, Cars, and it's easy. There we have it, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to shoot off because I'm absolutely knackered. I've been in work all day. It's been too hot and sunny, and yeah. So there you have it. Driver of the day will be Solar. I thought he drove an absolutely outstanding race in that Williams, I'm not going to lie. So Leo Lund led for 27 laps and wins the Monaco Grand Prix. There we have it. It is all over. Goldman's in the Audi. All the stats are there. Right, I'm going to shoot off, guys. I've got a lot to deal with. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me. I really do appreciate it, everybody. And I will see you on the next one. We have got a break this Sunday, but I do think we've got the Le Mans 4-hour. So tune in for that. And we are back for Le Mans Multiclass tomorrow. Take care, everybody. And thank you so much for continuing to support us. And well done to everybody that finished the race. Take care, everybody.